Hello, good evening, this is Diecast Luna. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to a Corgi Matchbox Mondays episode, special edition episode. As I said before, I did say, I don't know when it was now, a few months ago, that sometimes I might be doing other episodes about other vintage pieces other than Matchbox. And today, when I went to my favourite vintage diecast shop to have a look around, I noticed he had a fair influx of vintage corgi models, not long come in actual fact, and there's all sorts there from the 70s and mainly from the 80s. So I thought, why not this week, rather than pick up some Matchbox for Vintage Matchbox Mondays episode, I thought I'd do a corgi episode instead. So that is what I've done. I've only picked up a couple of pieces, but that is what we're going to be looking at. So like I said, I might be doing this from time to time if I come across. So it might be a vintage Majorette Mondays, it could be a Corgi Mondays, could even be a Hot Wheels. Like I said, it depends what I come across, but primarily it will be a vintage Matchbox Mondays episodes with the occasional special episode thrown in. But anyway, enough chat and let's get a look at what I've got. So camera down in usual fashion and we'll take a closer look. So we've got these, which doesn't say a lot, pretty generic boxes, and that is the cars that we're going to be looking at. So we've got a Ford Sierra and the BMW M3 racing car. So a little bit of history on Corgi. I'm not going to go too far into it. So obviously Corgi toys, related toys are Corgi Classics, Dinkies and Husky, were related brands by the company Metoy, I believe. Previously owned by the company, or the founding company was Metoy, and I think Metoy owned it from about 1956 to about 1984, something like that. And then from about 1989 to about 1996, I think Mattel had it. But so it has changed over the years a fair bit, and in 2008, which I think who has it now is Hornby Hobbies Limited, and they also own Scare Electric and Airfix. So there's a little bit of information there on Corgi. I'm not going to go massively into it today. I have actually been watching documentaries recently on Corgi. It's quite an interesting history, but like I said, I'm not going to go massively into it today. But anyway, these particular two are from about 1985 ish era, 1985, 1986, something like that. And these are, from what I believe, are just before Mattel took over, I believe. Like I said, I'm a little bit shaky on it, if I'm completely honest. But anyway, let's take a closer look. So this first one is going to be a bit of extra zoom on, so just bear with me. Is the Sierra, Ford Sierra, and not too bad in the black with the red interior. So it's pretty much the first time I've looked at this car. I just basically had a quick look to see the condition, but there you are. Great big toe itch. Obviously the interior is part of the lights. It does have opening doors. Actual fact, these doors really open. Got quite a nice satisfying snap. And it says made in Great Britain, which is something you don't see anymore. And it just says Ford Sierra 2.3 gear. So this was supposed to be based on the gear model. But it is quite a cool piece. And there you go, the front lights are parts of the window as well. So not bad. Not bad at all. And like I said, Corgi over the years, they were very good quality to start with. I think especially from about 58 to 64, they were very high quality models, and if you start looking into some of the corgi stuff they did, they were very accurate. That's what they liked to do. They liked to make very accurate quality models, and then this continued right up into the 70s with the corgi major range. Was, like I said, very good quality models. But after about 1972, the quality did start to go down, unfortunately. I know I heard something that the whiz wheels were never really popular with the hardcore corgi collectors. They preferred the rubber tires, and they even did some wheels that had like the centers were made out of brass, you know, with a rubber tire and like a nylon hub, so to speak, in the center for free spinning wheels. But when the whiz wheels came out, they weren't so popular because it took some of the detail away. These aren't the whiz wheels range, but it is a cool piece and it's in lovely condition. So I will show you a whiz wheels that's just because it's to hand. So this is one of the earlier whiz wheels. So there you go, Corgi Juniors. A little bit tarnished, but this is how they started. And then I think, if I remember rightly, if I just bear with me 2 seconds, as I do have another one here. It's in a little plasticky bag. Just getting it out of the bag. And this is another whiz wheels, and this, there you go, Corgi Juniors, but this is a whiz wheels as well, as far as I'm aware of. I'm sure, yeah, it is, because the boxes say whiz wheels. But I do like his taxi, I don't know why, but you can see how they've made that. They've just literally got a piece of plastic, it goes through the bodywork, through the interior. But I don't know if I can show this. If you look through the coloured glass, you can see it says taxi. So literally it is a plastic stick stuck in there, which on either end says taxi, and that is the way that it's held in place. So you could say not the best quality, but then again you could say quite a clever way of design. But these whiz wheels were aimed solidly at the more junior, the people that played with toys, whereas the Corgi Major was still a toy, but it was more aimed at, you know, authenticity, and obviously for the, you know, the collector as well as the child. But these were, you know, and the reason for the whiz wheels, again, as far as I'm aware of, was because the same thing as what happened to Matchbox. Mattel with Hot Wheels was hammering, you know, all the companies in Britain, you know, hence why Matchbox brought out the super fast range. Bear with me, my dog was barking. And obviously Corgi response to Hot Wheels was the whiz wheels. But anyway, we'll take a look at the next piece. Put that down. So this one is the BMW M3 racing car. I'm just looking if there is any information on these boxes. Here we go. So it's just a little bit of information there, nothing of real. And here it is in the yellow, and it's got like almost like a clover leaf design wheel to it. This is quite a heavy casting. It's funny because even though I've said this before about some of Corgi's time period, the cars had a cheaper feel to it than Matchbox, you know, that wasn't always the way with Corgi. Corgi was always a quality brand. It was only as it stepped into the 80s, from the late 70s, 80s, that the sort of quality went down a bit. But that was just through the way the market was at the time and different companies competing. It wasn't specifically their fault. There you go, in the yellow with number 5 on it. That's a Silverstone. But you could get this in very various colours. I have seen a green one. I know you can get it in orange, not with this particular livery, I don't think. I just think there was different race cars. There was also a plain metallic blue version of this, I believe. There you go, that's my cue to go, I think. It's just been shouted that food's been done. But I do like this. It is a cool piece and very, very heavy. As you can see from the die cast itself, it is just very, very thick. Very thick. Let's have a look on the bottom again. Made in Great Britain. So like I said, again, something you don't see very often. But anyway, that is the cars for today, for today's video. Like I said, I will be doing this from time to time. I did say this before, that I might mix things up a little bit. Mainly vintage Matchbox Mondays episodes on a Monday, but every now and again I will throw in a curveball with either a majorette or a corgi or a Hot Wheels, depending on what I come across. But anyway, with that, please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more vintage Matchbox Mondays episodes, Wednesday night Movie Car Mania, and obviously Friday night customs. I've just noticed something on this car that I didn't show. And it does only have one seat and a little roll cage, I think. Am I seeing things? I don't know, it's definitely got something in the back, so I'm looking. But anyway, with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.